From our colleagues, our allies, when I say allies, our friends in the area. The President's initiative in terms of economics, etc., is well known. And to that end, we visited Singapore, met with the Prime Minister, met with the President, a woman. That was pretty exciting for us. But most importantly, to discuss security, economics, and governance, to listen, to learn, to share views. Next, we went to Malaysia. We're again, in another country, welcomed in a very positive way. And I say when we were welcoming the President's initiative, because that is much of what we were representing. Next, we went to Taiwan. Again, security, economics, and governance. Had very positive meetings there, and I'll come back to that. Next, we went to South Korea to pay our respects to our 28,000 troops who are there and their families, to thank them for their courage and thank the government for their hospitality. We visited Panmunjom and again focused a great deal on the threat of North Korea in terms of their aggression, their possible aggression. And now we're in Japan. This morning we had a very impressive meeting, impressive from our standpoint, of the Prime Minister, congratulating him on his successes already in terms of security, economy, and governance. You may be more interested in, again, what the Chinese did while we were traveling, and we have said from the start that our representation here is not about changing the status quo here in Asia, changing status quo in Taiwan. It's about, again, the Taiwan Relations Act, the U.S.-China policy, all of the pieces of legislation and agreements that have established what our relationship is, to have peace in the Taiwan Straits, and to have the status quo prevail. To that end, as you see, the Chinese made their strikes, probably using our visit as an excuse. Let me close by saying this. The Chinese have tried to isolate Taiwan, keeping them most recently from the World Health Organization by not even letting their participation be on the agenda of the World Health Agency, whatever that makes these determinations. They may try to keep Taiwan from visiting or participating in other places, but they will not isolate Taiwan by preventing us to travel there. We've had high-level visits, senators in the spring, a bipartisan way, continuing visits, and we will not allow them to isolate Taiwan. They are not doing our travel schedule. The Chinese government is not doing that. Our friendship with Taiwan is a strong one. It is bipartisan in the House and the Senate, overwhelming support for peace and the status quo in Taiwan. With that, I want to just say how honored I was to travel with our delegation. We were more like 6 co-chairs of the delegation. We are coming to Asia. One of our members born in India, another whose parents were, that would be Mr. Raja Krishnamurthy, another member whose parents were born in South Korea, another who is Japanese American and proudly so. All of us representing the beautiful diversity of Asia in our states, and in my case, in my district. When it came to security, you'll hear from our members. Economy, we have the vice chair of the Ways and Means Committee to talk about that, and trade and possible continuation of our discussions about a trade agreement in the region. But you'll hear directly from them, and I thank you for your interest in our trip. It's about, again, security. We never can leave have a CODEL unless we talk first and foremost about honoring our oath to protect and defend. Security first, economics tied in with that, as well as governance. In all cases, each of the countries we visited, we had very positive conversations and great respect for what they are doing in their countries, great candor in how we thought each of us could do better in our countries, and we were very honored to be received so well in the region. With that, I'm going to yield to the distinguished chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee in the House of Representatives, a champion for security, economics, governance, and trade, Mr. Chairman Gregory Meeks.
First, let me thank Speaker Pelosi.
And that was U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who just held a press conference in Tokyo. She is on the last leg of a trip to Asia, where she spoke about her Asia tour and asserted that the aim was not to change the status quo during a trip. She spoke about how China, they've tried to isolate Taiwan on several occasions, but again emphasized on how they cannot isolate Taiwan from the United States of America. She further said that Taiwan is extremely important for the United States of America. Further, she focused on how her trip were on three major issues, which were security, governance, and economics.
Which is tremendously important, because as our president has said, no matter where you go in the world, it is a question of democracy